Okay, I need to make sure I'm in focus. Yeah, just a second. Let me get the books. Where's the other book? Oh no, wait, I have it in my bag. Just a second. So, one of the books I read is actually in my book sleeve. Okay, hi. So today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in September. September was a pretty good reading month for me. I read 5 books, which is a lot for me. I know that it's not a lot to some people, but I read 5 books. So I don't have all the books with me in physical because 2 of the books my friend gave me and I gave them back to him. I mean, my boyfriend gave it to me. He's gonna really get mad if I just call him friend. Yeah. So these 2 books are the ones that I do have with me, and then there was one audiobook as well. So I'm going to be talking about all 5 of them with you in this video. So very first book that I did read was Odd and the Frost Giants by Neil Gaiman, and I'll probably put a clip of the book in this video because I did have it a few days back with me. So it was a really beautiful book. It was a children's book and I loved the illustrations in it, and it was probably my first book that I read by Neil Gaiman, because I did read one book, but that was not really a book. It's with me here somewhere. So this cute book is another book that I've read by Neil Gaiman, and this is just filled with pictures. But yeah, Odd and the Frost Giants was one of the first books I read by him, and it was just so cute. And if you're interested in Norse mythology and if you like Thor and Loki and all of those characters, you'll probably enjoy that book because it was really lighthearted, but all of the characters were present in it, and I really loved how it was portrayed. So basically the book is about this village where winter is not ending and no one knows why, and Odd sets out to find out what really happened, and you find out what happens in the rest of the book. I don't want to spoil it for you, and I rated this book 4 stars. I did not rate it 5 stars because it was not the best book. It was not something I loved, but I really liked it. The second book I read is The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and this book is going to also be adapted as a movie. It's about 2 people who meet, and I don't know if it's a spoiler, but they may or may not fall in love. You'll find out as you read. But it's about a girl who's going to be deported from the States to her original country, and it's about a boy who... his family wants him to be a doctor, but he does not want to be a doctor. And so these 2 people meet on a certain day, and it was very slow for me at the very start and I was struggling to finish it, but the last 200 pages just flew by for me, and it's only like a 340 page book, so that's why I rated it 4 stars. It could have been 5 stars if I loved it from the beginning, but yeah, it was really good. And one other thing, it does cover a lot of issues in it, like parental pressure and everything, and also everything about 2 people from different race dating and just stuff like that. And I feel like those topics are something that need to be covered, so that's why I think it was pretty good. It also could be a bit cringy and cheesy for some people, but if you overlook that, you might really love this one. So yeah, if you love something that's lighthearted, definitely pick this one up. So now the third book that I read is, I don't have the physical copy and I actually listened to the audiobook of it, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six. I have the audiobook on my phone. Just a second. This is the book. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but yes, this is the book that I listened to, and honestly I'm not in focus. I've been listening to this book since months. I think I started this book in June and I finished it in September. So it was not something that I absolutely loved, and I did love some parts of the book. Like, some of the dialogues were really good, and it's about this, I I did not even say what it's about, I'm so sorry, but it's about this band and it's about their life as they are forming and they are breaking apart. And Daisy Jones is a singer and she becomes a part of this band called The Six. That's why it's called Daisy Jones and the Six. And I think that the characters are so realistic and I loved the story, but I did feel like it was dragging a bit, and I'm not really into a lot of such lifestyle, basically, where they're just, you know, doing drugs and stuff like that, which I was not a big fan of. But I do think that the characters are so realistic and they talk about a lot of real life issues, and I love the dialogues in it, and that's why I gave this book 3 stars out of 5 stars. So yeah, that's all about this book. If you do like to know about bands and just the whole 80s life, then you might just like this book. And also the audiobook was really, really good because there was like a full cast for the audiobook. So yeah, if you like audiobooks that are full cast and they are done beautifully, you should definitely check out the audiobook for this book. Okay. Now moving on, the 4th book that I read is Beetle Debarred by J.K. Rowling. So if you've read Harry Potter, you might know that Beetle Debarred was included in the, like, it was the book that Dumbledore gave to Hermione, and it's basically fairy tales for wizards and witches. So just like Muggles have fairy tales like Cinderella and Snow White, there were some fairy tales written in Beetle Debarred, and it was quite a good book as such, but there was nothing exceptional in it. I did like some of the stories. It has some short stories, and there are wizards in it, and basically you know, there's stories about some kind of moral with them, and there were some notes written by Dumbledore in the end as well. So I found that it was good as such, but it was nothing exceptional. I mean, it cannot compare to Harry Potter, obviously. And I rated the Tales of Beetle Debarred 3 stars out of 5. I don't know if I called it Beetle Debarred or the Tales of Beetle Debarred, but it's the Tales of Beetle Debarred, and I'll also include a clip in this video of the book. I think I probably already included it. So yeah, that was the 4th book that I read. Now the 5th book, and the book of the month for me, is How to Be a Boss by Lily Singh. Oh my god, this book was amazing. I've been reading it since the start of the month, like I think a week into the month, and I finished it just a few days back because I just did not want this to get over. She has divided this book into 4 sections, and there are 50 chapters in the book, and it's just 50 life lessons that she has learned. If you don't know who Lily Singh is, she has a YouTube channel with over 40 million subscribers, and she it's called Superwoman, and she makes funny videos, and she is just so inspirational. I honestly, every time I read this book, I was just filled with motivation, and it just felt so good. And I always need to read some non-fiction book along with a fiction book that I'm reading, and this satisfied me so much. So yeah, obviously, if you did not guess already, I rated this 5 stars, and yeah, it was amazing. So that was the 5th book and the last book that I read. The top book I would suggest you to read is definitely How to Be a Boss. I had picked this book when she released it, and I finally came around to reading it, and I'm so glad because I'm definitely going to read this again and again. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Okay, I thought I dropped something. I hope you enjoyed this small video, and if you like such videos about me talking about books, or if you have any requests, please do leave them down in the comment section, and also subscribe and click the small bell button here, I think, or here, to stay up to date with all my videos. And I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye. Okay, I just need to go.